I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I knew it. I love when he does that.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Gentlemen, in my soul, something, something, Cody Rhodes. I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
Time. But let me go ahead and tell you.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 481 of the Hoots Podcast. As the countdown to episode 500 continues, we are down to 19 episodes left here. And appreciate each and every single one of you for taking part of this journey with us as we continue to trudge forward to that final episode of the podcast at Hoots. It is your truly nefarious brother Adam, a.k.a. Joshie Lopez, here to record another podcast. It's Friday, September 5th, 2025. Hope each and every single one of you are doing well. The NFL's back. We watched pretty odd, strange football kickoff last night with the Eagles and the Cowboys. We could add Jalen Carter to the You're a Nimrod list, or the Young Club. That's a deep cut. Yeah, we could add Jalen Carter to the Young Club this week. Oh my god. So we got that going on. We're just coming off the heels of Clash in Paris. We're just coming off the heels of probably one of the busiest months I've ever had transcript-wise. Things are going to be picking up for me a little later on this month. Actually, not even late. It's actually starting next week. Actually, a week from today, we have both SmackDown and the Worlds Collide show in Vegas, which is going to be ahead of that Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford fight that they're having on the 13th. By the way, that's my sister's birthday, so happy early birthday to my sister Alex. So that's coming up soon. And the week after that is WrestlePalooza, and then the week after that is NXT No Mercy. So I got 3 pay-per-views this month to do, which is cool. It's going to be nice. 5 Raws in between, so it should be another decent month money-wise when it comes to the transcripts. And things are going well with the podcast as well. We made close to $500 in the month of August for the podcast, and overall we're close to making $2,000 collectively since we've started putting the shows here on Odyssey. So I want to give a big shout out to the people at Odyssey for having us, and we're very appreciative of the platform for you guys helping us out with everything. It helps me out with the move. It helps out with the podcast and helps out with everything. So I appreciate all of you. Today's gonna be interesting. Like I'm recording this, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm dealing with a lot of FOMO right now. Like I'm in my heart, I feel like dejected in a way because John Cena's making his last appearance in Chicago today at the Rosemont Horizon, and I'm not gonna be there for SmackDown tonight. I have to cover the show. You know, work comes first, and the move comes first. So this one really, really stings because I was fortunate enough to go see John Cena's debut in WWE when I was 8 years old. It was a SmackDown in June of 2002. John Cena made his debut on that SmackDown and slapped Kurt Angle in the face. The whole ruthless aggression. I was at that show, and it's crazy to think that's 23 years ago. But John Cena is making his final appearance in Chicago today, and a lot of speculation about AJ Lee coming back to the WWE tonight. CM Punk is going to be there. Crazy to admit to myself that I haven't been to a show at the Horizon in nearly 3 years. The last one I went to was the night where Cody had his torn pec in the Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins, and I haven't had a chance to see Punk back yet at the Horizon since he came back to the WWE, and it just sucks on the inside because for people that know me personally, like the Allstate Arena is like my favorite building. It's like my wrestling church in a way. So to not be able to go to the show tonight, especially with tonight being significant as it is, just really, really sucks. But I will be covering it tonight. You can check out all my transcript work, as always, in the results section of WrestlingHeadlines.com. Or you can check out my other work at ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. I cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Evolve, and all the corresponding main roster and NXT PLEs on the site. And, of course, even the AAA shows, which, again, I'll be doing next Friday for Worlds Collide. But all that being said, do us a quick favor. If you're checking this out on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button and smash the subscribe button. We appreciate that. You can follow us on YouTube at the Hoots Podcast. Subscribe there. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Any likes, comments down below helps expand the reach of the show on YouTube, so we appreciate that. If you have any takes or any favorite matches that you saw for Clash in Paris or anything you're looking forward to for WrestlePalooza, anything like that, we'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section. Or you can hit me up on social media. I'm on X at the Hoots Podcast, Instagram at Joshie Lopez Music. Also, you can just check it out there if you like. I wanted to let you guys know, you can get this podcast free of charge anywhere you get your podcast from. And you can get it on Spotify, Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, this is a whole bunch of different places to get the podcast. So we appreciate the support on that end. As this countdown continues, I made a promise to you guys that I was going to be bringing in more guests on the podcast. So with that, I would like to announce that next week we're going to be having a Pipe Bomb reunion, as the one and only Mitchell McMule, Matt McCool, will be on the program for the first time, I think, maybe 3 or 4 years. It's been a very long time since Matt's been on the pod, so I'm looking forward to shooting the shit with him and kind of give you a tease of what my podcast life will look like a little bit after the Hoots Podcast is done. Like I said, I'm not done with podcasting. I'm just done talking about wrestling. So once episode 500 is done, I'm moving away from the wrestling aspect of what the Hoots Podcast is and transitioning into something else. And it might be a rewatch review type of thing of Vanderpump Rules. For many years, I've been kind of indifferent into the world of Bravo and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I have enjoyed a lot of reality TV in my life over the years, and competition shows like The Challenge, Real World Rules Challenges, but I also enjoyed my fair share of reality TV here and there. I enjoyed Total Divas, I enjoyed Total Bellas. I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't feel like I'm losing any man points for saying that. But, also watching stuff like Love Island. I watched that for the last couple of seasons and been enjoying that. Love Island Games, by the way, Season 2 drops on September 16th, which is coming up soon. I believe that is on Tuesday. Yeah. So not this Tuesday, the week after. So we'll see what happens there. Ariana Maddox will be hosting it. And speaking of Ariana was on Vanderpump Rules. That's how she got her name and fame from. And I didn't know anything about Vanderpump Rules or Scandival or anything like that until I heard about Ariana Maddox the first time I got to see her on Love Island. And I got swooped into the vortex of Bravo to the point where I've watched the entire franchise of Vanderpump Rules, all 11 seasons. I just finished the first 2 seasons of The Valley a couple weeks ago, and it's crazy. Now, don't expect me to be getting into any Real Housewives of this city or that city. I'm not going that far, okay? I'm new to this realm. I'm enjoying it, but I have a lot of thoughts and takes that I want to get off my chest when it comes to Vanderpump Rules. because there's a lot of narratives that have been attached towards Tom Sandoval over the years that I don't agree with, and I think it's unfair to the dude. But Matt, for a long time, ever since I first met him, way back, like 2015, 2016, it's crazy. We've known each other for nearly a decade now. But when it comes to Matt, I've always known he's enjoyed Bravo and shows like that, and we're going to have a lot of fun shooting the shit about that. And more likely or not, once we get past 500, I'm going to do a rewatch podcast about Vanderpump Rules from start to finish. And who knows, by the time we get to the 11th season recaps, we'll have the Vanderpump Rules reboot with the new cast and stuff at SUR. So be on the lookout for that. There's a couple other things that I just wanted to get off my chest. I'm very proud of myself and the stuff I've been able to do for the past couple months. I've been very, very busy with the transcripts, and things are going good on that end. And I feel it. I feel the move coming very soon, and it's fast approaching, and I'm excited. So I got an email notification today that my credit score went up again, 7 points, which is nice to see. You always like to see that. But besides that, everything is good. I'm in good spirits. Walks are good. I feel good. I look good. Yeah, I'm a little bummed out that I won't get to see John Cena and SmackDown tonight at the Horizon. But besides that, I'm in good spirits. And plus, we got the NFL back. And we got the Bears on Monday Night Football. I'll probably have to... That's the one thing I didn't like with the announcement, that they have the Bears starting off on Monday Night Football, because obviously I cover Raw and work comes first. But I'll have to check it out during the second half, I guess. That's what it is. The Bears are playing the Vikings on Monday Night Football to start Week 1. But I'm also excited to try out this ESPN DTC app that I got a couple weeks ago. What comes with the thing that I got, obviously it's for work purposes, and now that the PLEs are now on ESPN, I had to get the app. But what comes with this app is also Red Zone. So get to enjoy NFL Red Zone again and watch all the games at the same time is something that I'm pretty pumped up about. So Sunday can't come quick enough. But all in all, that's some stuff I just want to get off my chest. I'm in good spirits. We'll see what happens with SmackDown tonight. I'll get into the whole stuff about AJ Lee and all that stuff this week in WWE. But all that being said, hope you're all doing good. And when we come back, we'll get into what happened this week in WWE. Recap Clash in Paris. Talk about AJ Lee. I got some audio that I want to play for Bruce Prichard's appearance on Cody Rhodes podcast. And then we'll wrap it up with this the Back Porch Q&A session, as we always do, right here on episode 481 of the Hoots Podcast, as the road to episode 500 continues. We'll be right back. Yeet. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hoots Podcast. And talk what happened this week in WWE. Before we get to the Clash in Paris review, I want to play this piece of audio here from Cody Rhodes' What Do You Want to Talk About podcast, which is a WWE podcast deal that they have with Fanatics, and Bruce Prichard was a guest on the program, and I thought it'd be important to play this piece of audio so you can hear from the voices of someone who's actually behind the scenes of the company right now and see their perspective on things. And I always talk about nuance and context and stuff like that, and one of the most widely idiotic debates over the last 3 years amongst wrestling content creators is, should Cody Rhodes have won the title at WrestleMania 39 or at WrestleMania 40? I think 3 years later now we can realize that the right decision was made and Cody should have just won at 40, and he did, right? So that's my perspective on it. Let's hear from Bruce himself. This is a very interesting piece of audio here.
Until it was right there and it exploded. I I love that you bring up the Mega Powers, because and I'm not comparing myself to the Mega Powers, but I'll say a story over the course of a year. Who was the only person and the very first person? So there's gorilla position in WWE. Then there's the stage, right? Every now and then there's a little buffer. There's a little phantom zone. I'll stand there. That's where all the cryo films up, whatever it may be. I hadn't made it into gorilla after WrestleMania 39. And there was one person in the little buffer zone just to make sure I was okay, because that was a emotionally exhausting situation. Anybody could recognize that the plan's the plan, but to make them upset, everything, your heart, you have to leave it all in the ring. And you were the one who was standing there. It was, and we got to tell a story, even though we had some major curveballs.
Right.
Right. Thanks for that.
Well, I know that, look.
You know that I was telling you I'm ready now.
I know you were.
Yeah.
You were ready. You were ready. However, the time, I think, made it even better.
Yeah.
And I know that you were ready. I know you believe that you were ready, and you were.
Yeah.
However, they weren't ready.
Yeah.
They thought they were. The audience. And for them to truly appreciate it all that much more.
Yeah.
And it was to say, hey, no, man, we're going to be right here.
Yeah.
We're going to be right here next year. It's going to be different. And that's, as a performer, I understand how hard that is.
Yeah.
That is hard to accept.
I think being told we're on a journey and it's going to be huge and it's going to be, that's okay. Yeah. But also it's
in the moment.
Right. And the fear. I've talked about this before. I talked about this with Jelly Roll. The idea that was I thought everything I was doing up to then was really hard. And I thought, man, this is what it was. This is what John was talking about. The level of work you think you know, and then you find out. And then that's presented as the task. It became a moment of, I don't know if I can do it.
Well, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yes. I wouldn't flop those out. I wouldn't trade those. But I'm going to ask you about somebody maybe who would, maybe who wouldn't. How does Dusty book?
There you go. Good stuff right there. Very good stuff right there. Where do we want to start here? Because this is not going to be a super long episode this week, guys. Got some stuff that I got to do. But I want to share this out with you guys and just look at it from this perspective. I don't believe, in my heart, in just knowing the patterns of how the IWC is, I don't believe that Cody Rhodes is in the spot that he is right now. He's not viewed the way he's looked at right now amongst the echo chamber, the universe, and my colleagues abroad, if he defeated Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. I know the patterns of this spectrum of this community, and it's just crystal clear that the entire IWC would turn their backs on Cody Rhodes not even 3 months after Cody Rhodes beats Roman Reigns at that WrestleMania. I just know it gets right in front of my face. We're not naive. Like this fickle community is just the drizzling shits when it comes to perspective and understanding and context and nuance when it comes to the bigger picture of wrestling. Everything is so blow by blow, black or white, and in the moment. And it's like, that's not what this industry is founded on. It's about what's making money and what's to keep you interested going forward. Okay, Cody Rhodes comes in, not even a year later, finishes the story. Now what? He had to struggle. We had to figure out what made Cody Rhodes in this realm. Because the Cody that we see now, his character was not that in AEW. And that same hardcore 18 to 35 demo crowd that everybody salivates for, they all shit on it, and even yours truly. I saw through the whole gimmick in AEW. It was not presented the right way. It wasn't executed the right way, and it was just tone deaf for what AEW needed at that time. I've never had a personal issue with Cody Rhodes. I always have been a fan of his. I did feel like during that time in AEW, before he left, I started to get a lot of Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle vibes, and I own up to that. I'm not going to be like, oh, I criticize somebody in AEW and then just ultimately praise them in WWE. I felt that way for a long time, and yeah, it was cool to see Cody make his return in Dallas at that WrestleMania against Seth Rollins, and here we are 3 years later. He's one of the biggest stars in the industry, and I'm happy for him. I was happy to be proven wrong. I did not like Cody for a long time when I saw him in AEW. The stuff with Dustin was cool. His feud with MJF was fine, but everything else in between, I just felt super forced, and it was just there. And had he kept doing what he was doing in AEW in WWE, it just wouldn't have worked. Just would have not worked. You can thank The Rock in a lot of ways. You really can. You can thank timing in a lot of ways to helping bring the American Nightmare to where he is today. Because you know, as much as people want to shit on Dwayne Johnson, he helped Cody Rhodes become what WWE really wanted him to be when he came back at WrestleMania 38. So here we are, 3 years later. Cody is on the top of the world. He just defeated John Cena to recapture the Undisputed title at SummerSlam. And I'm happy for Cody. I really am. But context and nuance is very important in this space. And I think that it goes over a lot of people's heads a lot of times because it's just like, oh, what's the latest booking take that I could have? That's really all it is on a lot of these podcasts. And you guys know how I feel about it. It's one of the reasons why I want to stop talking about wrestling, because it's just repetitive nonsense. Oh, how's this being booked? How's that being booked? Who gives a shit at the end of the day? It's not sports. Oh, I always love the terms on these wrestling podcasts that I hear, like hot shot booking, 50-50 booking. It's not a sport. Just stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Let's talk about Clash in Paris. Talk about stuff that I enjoyed and stuff like that. But first, before we get to the matches, I do have to say this to my colleagues and everybody amongst the space that was being very ignorant and inconsiderate towards Nikki Bella, and especially that crowd in Paris, France. You guys should be embarrassed for yourselves. Say what you want with the match, whether you thought it was good or not, or sloppy or not, or whatever. The shit that girl had to overcome to get back into a good mental space for herself after a very public divorce and the nature of what caused that divorce in the first place, to get back into a state of happiness and to have the confidence to get back in the ring when she had to retire from a serious neck injury to get to where she was today. I'm not saying this out of bias. I have always admired Nikki Bella for who she is as a person, and she puts her heart and soul out there for everybody. You may not like her personality, you may not like her wrestling style, blah 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 blah. I do. I appreciate what she is, and she brought something different to the table. And I'm not going to sit here as a analyst in the wrestling business and pretend that Nikki Bella has not brought in a significant amount of viewers to the industry over the years, and has had an indelible impact on the history of the women's wrestling in general. I don't care that she doesn't have 5-star wrestling matches. She doesn't need to. But to disregard her as a human being and as a performer because she's not doing 450 splashes to the outside and double springboard Spanish flies and stuff like that, it's just ridiculous. I don't care if you don't like her wrestling style or not. Put some respect on her name. And plus, her match with Becky wasn't even that bad. I've seen a lot worse. Trust me. I just felt really bad because I heard her podcast this week with her sister, and she's saying that she's been getting a lot of receiving a lot of blowback on X and stuff from my colleagues, from people from the IWC, and that should not be the representation of wrestling fans or people who are wrestling content creators like myself. The way she was treated at Clash in Paris was ridiculous. Not only in that building, but also people who do shows like this, and you guys know who you are, and my colleagues as a whole. Just utterly embarrassing. I had to get that off my chest because that did not sit right with me. I don't know, this is strange propaganda that the IWC has always had against Nikki Bella, and I don't think that's right. You don't treat performers who put their bodies on the line for our entertainment and then disregard them because what? She was from Total Divas? She's from the Divas era? You can act like a petty high school bitch because she didn't wrestle or had the same background as your favorite wrestlers? It's so stupid. So that was the first part of the show I wanted to talk about. Sheamus and Rusev, they had their Donnybrook match. Very, very physical. Very, very good match. I was happy to see that Rusev won. Good call with doing the accolade with the shillelagh. I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that was a must-win for Rusev in the situation and where he was in his comeback. So for him to get that victory over Sheamus, I thought it was the right call. Very physical match, and I thought that was very good. Let's talk about what kicked off the show with Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. Very good opener. The match is good. I thought Bronson Reed had an awesome showing in the match, even in defeat, plus the whole afterbirth brawl, which just turned into a freaking massacre for Roman, man. It's one thing to know when somebody's getting ready to shoot a movie, they just absolutely destroyed the person in the ring after the match, man. Gazillion spears, gazillion tsunamis. Roman Reigns got in Paris this past Sunday. It was wild, man. It was a crazy opener. So many security guards and producers trying to get out of the way, and Bronson Reed doesn't care. They're doing more and more tsunamis. They both get ejected from the building, which led into what happened at the end of the show. So I thought that was a great way to kick off the show. So that was that. Street Profits and Y6, that was just there. It's time for the Street Profits to split up. I'll be one of those to say that it's time for them to split up. It's just time. I don't know if that happens tonight. It's something to look out for. Montez Ford is a wrestler that is from Chicago, so we'll have to see what happens tonight on SmackDown. But yeah, it's time for those guys to split up. It just is. What else I wanted to talk about? Really quick. John Cena and Logan Paul. Fantastic match. Just fantastic, man. Energy just from that crowd in Paris was absolutely insane. I don't know what else Logan Paul has to do to get your respect. And not only that, think about this. If you guys look back at the match, and yeah, they had all these callback spots for people that Cena has wrestled in the past, like Dolph Ziggler, Claudio Castagnoli, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin. Seeing John Cena do the end of days is crazy. But think about this. The thing that really stood out the most for me from that match is that neither Logan or John exited the ring. And it was the same similar layout to the match that John Cena had with AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble in 2017. And that match was freaking insane, man. John Cena is still killing it, and now people want to be in the moment and enjoy the John Cena retirement tour, but they're still butthurt for whatever reason about the heel turn. Whatever, that's another story for another time. But John Cena's been killing it so far, and Yeah, that was an awesome match, and it's time to put some respect on Logan Paul's name. Then we had the main event, which was Seth Rollins putting his World Heavyweight Championship on the line in a fatal 4-way match against CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Turned out to be a very good main event. Seth Rollins was getting ready to just go on a curb stomp party. Got Punk neck wrapped around a chair. Went for the curb stomp. Punk went out of the way. Did a GTS. Kind of had a callback spot for their match at the Raw Netflix premiere where Seth fell on top of Punk's shoulders. Punk go for another GTS. Becky Lynch comes into the ring in a hood and a mask and gives Punk the low blow. Helps Seth Rollins retain the World Heavyweight Championship. And Becky Lynch joined the division. Then we go to Monday. By the way, if you want my opinion from top to bottom, I thought Clash in Paris was a very, very good show. I'll give it like a B+, like A- show. I thought it was a fantastic event, and the crowd in Paris was an awesome crowd as well. So that's my thoughts on Clash in Paris. Let's go over to the next thing on Monday Night Raw. A couple of good bar burners like AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. We had the Braun Brawns against LA Knight and Jey Uso with the return to Jimmy Uso. Looks like we'll get the Usos and the Braun Brawns soon. That's pretty cool to look forward to. But the segment with Becky Lynch and CM Punk was top-notch. Really good television, and Becky just starts slapping the crap out of Punk in the face, like back and forth, kind of like a Stephanie McMahon vibe. And Punk's like, you're going to regret this. Your husband's going to regret cashing on me with the briefcase and everything. So that spills more and more speculation. Speculation that started this past Sunday in Clash in Paris to what happened on Raw on Monday on Netflix. The big old question, especially with SmackDown being in Chicago tonight, will AJ Lee make a return to WWE for the first time in 10 years? Will AJ Lee pop up on SmackDown tonight at the Rosemont Horizon? Will AJ Lee team up with her husband CM Punk to take on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch at WrestlePalooza? I don't know. And that's just my honest gut feeling. I don't know. It's going to be wild to see so many people blame the WWE if AJ Lee doesn't appear on the show tonight when they never advertised her. This is one of those things where the internet works themselves into a shoot. So we'll have to see. I would love to see it. But it's kind of the same thing that I had with Punk when it came to the speculation of if he was going to pop up in AEW, right? I have to wait for the moment to see it myself. I don't like getting myself in this position where I'm projecting things to happen, and then when it doesn't happen, I feel sully about it, you know? I want to be there in the moment to enjoy it if it happens. If it happens tonight, awesome. If she shows up at WrestlePalooza, even better. Like, either way, I would love to see her. Of course, I'm always going to support my Puerto Rican wrestlers, and she's great to look at on television, I'm not going to lie. But when it comes to AJ Lee, if she shows up tonight, awesome. If she shows up at the PLE in Indianapolis, even better. But, again, you have to blame yourself if she does not show up tonight. It's not on the company. They've never advertise her to be at the show, so do not work yourself into a shoot. And that's all I have to say about the AJ Lee stuff. On that note, that is what happened this week in WWE. When we come back, we'll answer your questions for this week's edition of the Back Porch Q&A session right here on the Hoots Podcast. We'll be right back. Eat. Alright guys, one more segment to do here. I'm trying to answer your questions for this week's edition of the Back Porch Q&A session right here on the Hoots Podcast, episode 481. Crazy, man. These shows keep flying by. Alright, let's see what we got here from the Good Brother, Chris Letta at X Siemens, the Letta 24X on the Twitter machine. Let's throw up the X for the Good Brother, Chris. He says, what up, Boost? Here's a question for the Q&A this week. Favorite match for Clash in Paris? Let's have like a jingle. My favorite match that for me was John Cena and Logan Paul. A close second would be Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed in the beginning. How fun was it for you to transcribe the Paul Cena match? Oh, it's just awesome, man. You're feeding off the energy of the crowd. Like, I'm just like, I kind of have a feel of like how certain matches would look like from over the years of doing these transcripts. So I kind of have a feeling like what the sequences are going to look like. So it helps me type out the sequences faster in a way, and the counters, the different moves that they decided to use was it was nice callbacks and stuff like that. It was fun. I really enjoyed typing that match out. I really did. Thoughts on Alex Windsor starting AEW, if you've seen any of it? Well, I did see her work at Forbidden Door because I did cover the show, so that was my first time covering an Alex Windsor match, or Windsor, if that's her new gimmick. I guess I don't know. She's a beautiful woman. Props to Will Ospreay, my Taurus brother. Salute to you on that end. Definitely, I'll kick your coverage on that end. But she's really good in the ring. I liked what I seen. Like, she has really good characteristics as a baby face, and I liked what I seen so far. By the way, the whole stuff with Mercedes Moné having 9 belts is so freaking stupid. Like, it's a bad look. Not as bad as the ratings for AEW Dynamite, but good God, man! Enough with the. It's not even a belt collection; it's a freaking prop. Hey, let me snag the most random independent wrestling women's title to make myself look good. God, that girl's an egomaniac. My God. Which NFL game are you looking forward to watching on Sunday? Good question. All of them. No, I'm kidding. Let's take a look at the schedule, shall we? Well, we have the Chiefs at the Chargers today in Brazil. That game's going to be on YouTube today. No, tonight, actually, during SmackDown. For Sunday, we got Tampa Bay in Atlanta. That should be a physical match. I'll look forward to that one. The slate, to be honest with you, Chris, is not that great to start off the NFL season, to be honest with you. I mean, Bengals in Cleveland, Dolphins against the Colts, Panthers at Jaguars, Raiders at Patriots. I guess I'll look forward to that one since my guys Adam Daly and Patrick Fitz are battling each other. So we'll use that as the exception. Arizona and New Orleans, don't care. Steelers and Jets, I don't care about Aaron Rodgers. Don't care. Giants and Commanders, don't care. Titans and Broncos, don't care. 49ers and Seahawks, I guess will be fine. Lions and Packers should be good. Texans and Rams should be interesting. And then really the one I'm looking forward to the most besides the Bears game, Chris, for this week is the Ravens against the Bills. That's the one that I'm really excited for, which is going to be Sunday Night Football. So be on the lookout for that if you will. But anyways, that's that for that question. Thoughts on All Out moving its start time? I'll say the same thing that as I put on my Twitter page last night. At the end of the day, if your wrestling's that elite and you think that your guys' wrestling is so much better, stop ducktailing and, backpedaling like a bunch of bitches and compete. It's that simple. The whole stuff about AEW being bullied is so freaking ridiculous. To the contrary, because AEW gets more excuses than any company that I've ever seen in my entire freaking life. It's ridiculous. Do we see AJ Friday on SmackDown or wait for WrestlePalooza? I'm going to say WrestlePalooza just to play it safe, but I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up tonight. Did you see the prices that they had for the shows? Like $1,000 in the upper deck. I'm like, I can't afford that shit. If AJ had no interest in returning overall, who do you think would have lined with Punk for this program with Becky and Seth? Well, I can't classify it as a program because it'll just be one mixed tag team match. So that's not necessarily a program. It's just a match. But I'll probably say Rhea Ripley because she doesn't have anything going on right now. So I'll say Rhea Ripley. Who do you think will be John Cena's overall last opponent? I'm stuck between two guys, but for me, it's either Drew McIntyre or Gunther. Those are my two picks. Gunther or Drew McIntyre would be the last opponent for John Cena, in my opinion. So, anything else that we get for Chris this week? No, that's pretty much it. All right. Make sure to follow Chris, by the way. Thank you, brother, as always. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at XTeensLed24X at the Twitter machine. He's always a good brother, always helping us out. You can follow me on Twitter if you like at the Hoots Podcast, Instagram at Joshie Lopez Music. Make sure to hit the like button and smash the subscribe button on YouTube at the Hoots Podcast. The Hoots Podcast comes to you free of charge anywhere you get your podcasts from, especially on Odyssey, our official home of the Hoots Podcast. Don't forget, on next week's episode, Matt McCool will be returning, and Matt will be joining us for a Pipe Bomb reunion show next week, so looking forward to that. And on that note, I just want to say, as always, don't forget to check out my transcripts in the results section of WrestlingHeadlines.com and ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. And lastly, it's certainly not least, the most important thing here is be the authentic product that is yourself. Remember, nobody dictates the pace of your life but yourself and the man upstairs. Love y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. Salute to John Cena making his final appearance in Chicago. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, everybody. This has been episode 481 of the Hoots Podcast as the road to episode 500 continues. We'll talk to y'all next week. I'm Joshie. Peace.
Bye-bye, bitch.